Let's take a look at this problem. We got f of x is equal to 1 minus 2 square root of 2x plus 5. Now first off, let's examine this a little closer. I could factor out the 2 inside the square root, and that would give us x plus 5 halves. Now if we think about what some of these different items do for our basic graph, here's the square root of x, looks like that. Now first off, this negative that's right here, this flips it upside down. So it'd look like this right here. And this 1 here, this would mean I'm shifting it up 1. And this number that's inside with the x, after I factor out the number that's in front of the x, this is going to shift left, right, opposite what you think. The plus 5 halves make it think it goes right 5 halves, so it's really going left 5 halves. So let's just generally think what our graph looks like. It's flipped upside down. We're going to go up 1. So up 1 and left 5 halves. So up 1, left 5 halves, something like that. Now the 2's that are here, they do affect it, but not really in terms of the domain and range. So I don't know what it looks exactly, but that gives me an idea. So that tells me my domain is going to go from 5 halves to positive infinity. So that's x values, that's where it starts, 5 halves, 2.5. And your range, it looks like it starts at 1 and then goes down forever. So we're going to have negative infinity to 1. Okay, so now let's go through and find our inverse. We need that information a little bit later on. F of x, replace f of x with y. 1 minus 2 square root of 2x plus 5. Step 2, interchange x and y, swap them. So we got x is equal to 1 minus 2 square root of 2y plus 5. Step 3, solve for y. Well, I'm going to take the negative 2 square root over the left side and the x to the right. So I got 2 square root of 2y plus 5 is equal to 1 minus x. Now notice when I took the negative 2 square root of 2y plus 5 to the left side, the only thing that changed was the sign out in front. What's inside the radical didn't change. Divide both sides by 2. And then square both sides, because we have to get rid of the square root. So we got 2y plus 5 squared is equal to 1 minus x over 2 squared. That gives us 2y plus 5. Now before I square this, I could factor out, and there's different ways you can simplify this. I don't even know what the book does exactly. You could leave it this way, or you could factor a negative 1 out of the top. When you factor a negative 1 out, it flips the sign of both of these. So it becomes a negative 1 plus x over 2 squared. So you got 2y plus 5 is equal to, now when I could put that negative 1 on the bottom with a 2. So this becomes negative 1, well, reverse the order. That becomes x minus 1 up on top, and this becomes negative 2 down below, squared. So then we got 2y plus 5 equals x minus 1 squared over negative 2 squared. So we got 2y plus 5 is equal to x minus 1 squared over 4. Take the 5 over, so we got 2y is equal to, and I'm going to take that 1/4 and put it out in front. So 1/4 x minus 1 squared, and when I take the 5 over, it becomes a negative 5. Now I could divide by 2, that'd be kind of nasty. What I'll do instead is I'll multiply by 1/2. So I'll take 1/2 times 1/4 times x minus 1 squared minus 5 times 1/2. So I get y is equal to 1/8 x minus 1 squared minus 5/2. Like I said, there's different ways you could have wrote that. You could have left as 1 minus x. Now, we can't have an even power here. That's why it's not 1-to-1, why we have to do something additional. So then, step 4, put our inverse notation in. And since I'm about running out of room, I'll also go ahead and do the next part. The domain and range swap on these. So my domain for my inverse will be what my range was, which is this. So negative infinity to 1, which means that I'm going to have x is less than or equal to 1. And that would be our answer.